Last week, I had a video call scheduled with 3 of the teachers that had been giving extra academic support to one of our sons when he was in school. And this call was to prepare me to take on a lot of those responsibilities from home and for the next few weeks or maybe even months. So I was feeling a lot of anxiety about this call and feeling the loss of our son not having these 3 wonderful teachers in his life every day. And I logged into the call and their faces popped up on the screen and I burst out into tears. And in my embarrassment, as I was pulling myself together, I looked up at the screen and saw that I wasn't the only one crying. One of the teachers was dabbing her eyes with a tissue and another's eyes were filled with tears. And in that moment, I felt God saying to me, you are not alone. This may not look like the way you planned it or hoped it, and this may be really hard, but you can do this, and you're going to take it day by day, and you've got it, and you are not alone.
This was a long time ago when we were just got married, maybe 3 years into our marriage. My wife had to go into hospital for major surgery. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to go to get some help. I didn't have money, didn't have many connections. And I remember in the hospital going into a bathroom, locking the door and kneeling myself down on the floor and asking for God's help. And I said to God, it wasn't a fancy prayer. I keep saying, oh God, if you don't show up now, I'm going to be in big trouble. And I remember getting up from that floor of that bathroom, feeling that God was there. He is near whenever we are in trouble. And He hasn't failed me since then. He always shows up in the right time. And I believe that.
It's a challenge being alone, and yet I'm never really alone. God's presence is in me and all around me. I experience His presence through listening to music, reading His Word, and through playing music. I love to worship the Lord by playing instruments and singing. I also experience God's presence through nature, through the birds and the trees. I love to watch the wind blowing the leaves and to watch the clouds floating by. And I feel God's presence in a powerful way, and I know that He is always with me. And this is how I cope with being alone.
God has really been encouraging me by reminding me to remember His nature and character, that He is a good, kind, faithful, loving, and just God that is more than worthy of my trust. I have faith and peace because God has taught me that even when in the natural looks as though He's abandoned me, I know that God moves far beyond what the human eye can see.
One way that God is encouraging me during these difficult times is by reminding me that this too shall pass. No matter how heavy the storm or how difficult the trials may seem, it's not going to last forever. And something that I lean on in a lot of seasons, but especially in the difficult ones, is that it's the hardest trials that lead to the greatest testimonies. One of my favorite scriptures in all of life, no matter what time it is, James 1:2-4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, for it is the testing of your faith that produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work in you so that you are complete and lacking in nothing. So when it seems like I'm backed into a corner or up against the wall, I remind myself that this is making me stronger. This is going to make me better. And hopefully it's going to allow me to help somebody else who feels like they can't get through it. So that's how I'm encouraging myself during these times.